Welcome, my dear friends, to Sophia Fireplace Stories. Here at the fireplace, we gather not just to pass time but to pass on wisdom. The fire before us is not only flame, it is memory, it is truth, it is the voice of our ancestors whispering lessons into the night. So tonight, sit with me, let the warmth reach you wherever you are watching from. For our story is about Ubuntu and how it speaks to the way we manage the gifts of life, our resources. Ubuntu, this beautiful African wisdom, tells us, I am because we are, and we are because I am. It reminds us that my well-being is tied to yours and yours to mine, that no person stands alone. And because of this, the way we handle what we have, our money, human beings, animals, our land, our food, our tools, our schools, our businesses, must always honor the whole community, not just the individual. But friends, what happens when Ubuntu is forgotten? When selfish takes over, shadows creep in, embezzlement steals bread from the hungry child, misappropriation of funds turns hope into dust, favoritism and nepotism open doors for the few while locking out many. Conflict of interest bends truth into lies, and without budgeting and long-term planning, the future is left bare like a tree without roots. These are not just words. They are wounds we have seen in many communities. Let me tell you a story. In one town, a school received a generous donation, computers shining new in boxes. Parents celebrated. Teachers smiled with relief. Children's eyes danced with excitement, dreaming of the world that lay behind the screens. But behind closed doors, decisions were made in secret. The head of procurement quietly diverted half of the computers to a private training center owned by his brother-in-law. The tender for setting up the computer lab was handed once again to the same company, chosen not for quality but for friendship. Months passed. The machines gathered dust. The children returned to crowding around one old flickering monitor, their hope dimming with every click. The funds for new books misappropriated, the meals for learners cut short. The parents lost trust, the teachers lost spirit, and the learners, the very heart of the school, were left carrying the weight of broken promises. This is what happens when Ubuntu is cast aside. But now imagine the same school guided by Ubuntu. The donation arrives. By this time, boxes are opened in the presence of the whole community, teachers, parents, and students. Everyone celebrates, everyone takes part in planning, every coin is accounted for, every decision transparent. The computers are installed in a bright lab, alive with the hum of discovery. Children laugh as they type their first word, eyes wide as the vast world opens before them. Textbooks are shared fairly, no hoarding, no favoritism. Meals are prepared so no learner studies on an empty stomach. And most importantly, leaders think beyond the present moment. They ask, what about 5 years from now? 10 years? How do we make sure this gift continues to serve not only today's children but also those yet unborn? This is Ubuntu. It is fairness. It's stewardship. It is planning with the future in mind. It is remembering that resources are not for one but for all. My friends, Ubuntu in resource management is not about numbers on a spreadsheet. It is about truth. It's about trust. It's about dignity. It's about fairness. When a leader embezzles, they are not stealing from an account, they are stealing futures. When funds are misappropriated, hope is misdirected. When nepotism and favoritism take over, talent and potential are buried. When we fail to plan, we leave our children with nothing but ashes. But when we embrace Ubuntu, everything changes. Sharing replaces hoarding, accountability replaces corruption, long-term planning replaces short-term greed, and prosperity is measured not by what one person owns, but how the whole community thrives together. So, my dear friends gathered at the fireplace, let us remember, resources are not possessions of the powerful. They are gifts entrusted to us for the good of all. To misuse them is to betray the community. To manage them with fairness is to earn life itself. Let us be stewards, not owners, servants, not masters. Let us manage with courage, with honesty, with long vision. Because when one prospers at the expense of many, the whole community suffers. But when we lift each other up, guided by Ubuntu, then truly we all rise together. And that, my friends, is the true meaning of wealth. Thank you for gathering with me tonight at Sophia Fireplace Stories. May these flames of wisdom light your path. Until we meet again, stay warm, stay true, and walk in hope.